let's see if this actually works. So, I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while. Nothing. Let's go to the studio. It should be streaming, but it's not. So why is nothing happening? Live, okay. I think we are live. All right, good, good. So let me go ahead and change. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and, all right. This is what we're doing here. Okay. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's save. Okay, and then we're gonna go. I'm just gonna go into my channel here. So test, test, test. I'm just gonna go into my channel here. Okay, good. I can hear myself. All right, so um, I um, I play a lot of games. And I've been a big fan of Warhammer for a while now. Big fan through the books and through the video games. I don't play the tabletop like in person at all. I don't really want to bother with the models. But I have played a few games on Tabletop Simulator, and I just joined a league for the first time. And I decided I want to play around with the Decimus units. So, because a lot of people are really negative on them, and I think they've got potential. So, all right, so let's take a look here. We have a 5-man Decimus unit. They are battle line. Let's go ahead and show the weapon stats here. We're going to just do a little tabletop simulator. All right, so this is a 5-man unit with 2 OC, 100 points. You get a special issue bolt pistol, nothing really special, you know, precision, lethal hits, nice. Bolt pistol, all their bolt pistols have lethal hits, 0 AP, but that's something. Now I took, for the heavy weapon, for the big guy, I took the Infernus Heavy Bolter. So it's you have either 3 attacks, ballistic skill 3, 5, strength 5, AP 2, damage 3, sustain hits. Bolter, pretty good. Or it's a flamer, you know, AP 1, damage 1, ignores cover. You also get this guy with the Stalker Bolt Rifle. 30 inches range, pretty good. BS3, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2, heavy, lethal hits, precision. I mean, not bad. 2 shots with that. The sergeant here comes with a plasma pistol. People like plasma pistols. Close combat weapons. They have them. 9 attacks. They're nothing special. I set up. You can get either another rifle, which does 2 shots, 1 point of damage, or you can get the combat knives with precision, damage 1. So one with the combat knives, and you also can get the sergeant here and the shield guy both have power weapons. So, you know, hit on 3s, 4 attacks each, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2, sustain hit 1. Those are blade guard weapons, but better. because they have sustained hits. They're better than Blade Guard. So so you get one guy with you basically get one Blade Guard. You get one Gravis guy with a heavy weapon. You have a Sergeant with a Blade Guard weapon. You got this Phobos guy who's he's a speed bump, he's chaff. And you got the Stalker guy. Pretty good for 100 points, I think. And you get a decent number of attacks. And I think they're good units to like go into the mid board and skirmish. Let me tell you, 8 power weapon attacks shreds enemy chaff, enemy infantry, just shreds them. So and other Space Marines don't like being hit by that. All right, so now I think this is a very good unit. So it is not the Deathwatch veterans. It doesn't have 4 Thunderhammers and a 10-man. I mean, you could take the power weapon and shield guy, switch him out for a Thunderhammer. In that case, then you have no invul saves in that 5-man unit, and you have 1 Thunderhammer. And then you still have the Sergeant with his 1 power weapon. And I don't think 1 Thunderhammer is worth it. So I think the best way to use these is to lean into the swords. Now, when you get to the 10-man unit, things get a little interesting and a little depressing. So with the 10-man unit, all right, got 3 of the special bolt pistols. So you get 2 of the heavy bolters, so that's 6 attacks with sustained hits, or 2d6 flamers. And you get 6 bolt pistols, and that's nice. You get 4 shots with the stalker bolt rifle, nice. You still get the plasma. You get 18 close combat weapon attacks. And I mean, they don't have any AP on them, but it's 18 attacks. You can get some damage with those. 8 attacks with the combat knives, 12 power weapon attacks. And this is the depressing part, the Xenophase Blade. Because you only have 1 Sergeant, instead of getting a Sergeant, you get the Blade Master, Deathwatch Veteran with Xenophase Blade. I would love to trade him for another power weapon guy. And so I can have, 16 power weapon attacks. But I think for me, the best way to use these, how I'm planning on using them in the future, unfortunately, I did not submit this for the league I'm playing in. And I'm kind of regretting it now. But, you have a couple units to skirmish and, stand on objectives. And then you got 1 brick led by Captain Artemis. Now, Captain Artemis, so this brick is 200 points. He's another 65. So let's add Captain Artemis to the list here. What Captain Artemis brings is he brings, where's his gun? Hellfire Extremis, another flamer. D6, strength 4, AP 1, damage 1, but anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds, ignores cover. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And he brings another master-crafted power weapon. So now you're running with 12 power weapon attacks and 6 more power weapon attacks. And he gives the entire bunch lethal hits. So now all of a sudden you have 18 power weapon attacks with lethal hits. 12 of them have sustained. Now with Deathwatch, you have your doctrines. So you have the 1 doctrine which gives sustain hits 1 to all of your kill teams, everyone with mission tactics. So the round that you go sustain hits, this entire 10-man brick will have sustained and lethal on all of their attacks. Also, you can use the adaptive tactics stratagem, and you can put 2 kill teams, say this one and maybe one of the Indomitors, or maybe one of the Fortis teams, and a different stratagem. Maybe these are all Bolter Indomitors, so they all have lethal hits in the weapons. So maybe I give this team and this team sustain hits. So sustain hits and lethal hits on all those Indomitor Bolter weapons is going to be kind of nice. So now, but all of a sudden, this is looking pretty tasty. So, so boom. All right, let's take a target here. We have a Riptide. The reason why we have a Riptide is because I hate them. I hate Tau so much. So we're gonna start off with a couple shots, and we're just gonna see here. So Riptide's of a 2+, 4+. We'll say it's got cover. Um, um, we're going to use Deathwatch. We're going to use this Decimus kill team with Artemis. And we're going to use this Indomitor team. So that's 400, that's 510 points between them. That's a lot of points. Um, the um, the Decimus should hopefully be able to pick up the Riptide on his own. And if not, if they can't, then maybe I would use a Fortis team instead to finish. So let's say, so this is the ultimate target, let's say. So we start off with the, and we're going to say we're at 9 inches charge range. So we're going to start off with the Stalker bolt rifles. All right, we're going to move these guys over a little bit here now. We're going to move them over to the side here. All right. Oh, sir. Come on, you here. This is just the map I used to test. All right. Rolled it. Okay, got lethal and sustained right off the bat there. We're going to crit fish. All right, 2 lethal sustained. 1 goes away. Okay, so these are strength 5, and that's toughness 9, so we need 5s here. So let's see. Did I have? Yeah, I did. Okay, so now all of a sudden, just on the first stalker rifle here. All right, so AP2 give them cover, so they save on 3s. So let's see what happens here. Save all of them. It happens. All right, go on to the. We're going to go on to the bolters here. So. This is what I do sometimes when I'm bored. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right, nice. And let's go ahead and fish again. All right, so 2 sustained lethal, and then these are all hits. So once again, we need to wound on 5s. So let's see what we got here. All right. All right. 1, so it's 3 right there. Okay. 1 goes through for 3. Boom, boom, boom. All right, it's not working, but it's down to 11 hit points. So we are now going to go straight into, we're going to go into the combat. So we could do the bolt pistol shots, we could do the flamers, but where we would really pick this up, I think, is here and here. Okay, so 18 power weapon attacks, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2. Boom. I mean, not bad. It's okay. We could use more, so let's fish. Not what we would want, we would kind of was hoping for more, but let's put those there. Those guys go away. And once again, on 5s. So let's see here. Okay. Now we have a lot of saves. So this thing's on 11 hit points, and each one of these is 2 damage. And unfortunately, it would survive. It would survive this roll. It would be at 5. So in this case, the dice happened. So you can see that depending on the rolls, the Decimus team could pick it up by itself. It's a possibility. But we're not done yet. It's got 5 hit points. Let's go ahead and add in the combat weapons. See if we can pick up a couple points here. Oh, baby, look at that. Okay. If you throw enough dice at the problem, it's going to work out, I think. And that's what this my army is built around, throwing enough dice at problems. All right, so boom. So once again, sustain and lethal. And now we need 6s. All right. 13. Let's see. All right. Two more. Two more go through. So down to 3. So we're almost out of attacks. But we still have 4 more Xenophase Blade attacks and 8 Combat Knife attacks. So we need to do 3 more wounds. Okay, and once again, we are going to fish. All right, sustain lethal. And this is strength 4 for the Xenophase Blade? Strength 5, so 5s. Okay. All right, and now let's boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it is possible for the Decimus kill team with Artemis to pick up a Riptide on its own. And assuming that was, a tank, another tank like this Lehman Russ or a Chimera, like the Lehman Russ Exterminator here we have here, which does not have an invuln save. It still has a 2+, and so it has a higher toughness, but we're fishing for lethal hit crits. So the toughness isn't that much of an issue. So this is not a bad unit, especially, I think for the 5-man, I think it's fairly efficient. It's good. It's a solid unit. It'll go into midfield. It'll stand on objectives. It'll kill scouts. It'll kill intercessors. It'll kill some gene stealers. Well, the other thing is because the special rule for this is they reroll hit rolls of 1 natively. I mean, that's pretty good. But against Xenos, anything doesn't have the Imperium or Chaos keyword, free rerolls. So they don't even need Oath of Moment. So you could put the Oath of Moment on one target and have your range firepower focus on that, and then you can have your Decimus kill teams focus on another target because they're completely independent of Oath. That's really good. That's really, really good. So, but I think this unit has potential. I think it can do some damage. So, and I'm going to experiment with it. I think you get a good amount of value. I really wish the Xenophase Blade. I wish that was a power weapon. That would cement it right there. So 4 power weapons in a 10-man squad, that would be a real replacement for the Deathwatch vets. So yeah, you lose out the devastating wounds, but you gain more attacks with decent damage and AP, AP2, damage 2 with sustained hits. So it's pretty good. Here's the thing. This unit, to do damage, I think they need lethal hits. I think whether in the 5-man or the 10-man, I think without lethal hits, their damage is going to suffer. So they have lethal on their stalker bolt rifle. They have it on their bolt pistols, but in general, they don't have a lot of lethal hits on their weaponry. I'm trying to think. I think they're one of the other Gravis options. I think has lethal hits. The Hellstorm bolt rifle, strength 5, AP2, damage 2, has a grenade launcher, and it has lethal hits. If you don't have a way to give them lethals, maybe that's a better option, and then you can combine that with the Stalker bolt rifle. 4 attacks from the Stalker, and then 4 attacks from that. So that's 8 attacks, strength 5, AP2, damage 2, lethal hits. That's not bad. And then you followed it up with all the power weapon attacks. But I think if you do have the lethal hits, the damage 3 heavy bolter is the way to go if you have the lethal hits because it already has a sustained. And I think that's how I would suggest building them. But I think they're a good unit. Um, I don't think they're not busted, but they're good. And I think they're aggressively costed. So they may not look like it. You know, you look at them and it's like, oh, they just have a bunch of different weapons, and no one weapon is busted, but you get a lot of attacks. You get a lot of attacks. I mean, all right, let's go ahead and clear you here. So, this is just. Sorry, we're gonna get rid of all these here, and then we're gonna start over. Okay. Anyway, as I said, you get a lot of attacks here. So, boom, 6 of those, 12 of those, 18 of those, 4 of those, 8 of those. That's 48 attacks off of a 265 point unit with sustained and lethals. That's pretty good. And then the ranged attacks, you don't get as many. You don't. So I wish you did, but you don't. So you get your Hellfire Extremist, you get your plasma pistol, you get your bolt pistol shots, stalker rifle shots. Oops. Let's get rid of 4 of you. Boom. Infernus Heavy Bolter. You get a lot fewer shots. But it's still, there's still some damage there. You're still going to be able to chip away at things with that. So 24 shots. Once again, with sustained and lethal, followed up by 48 melee attacks. Yeah, I'll take that. So anyway, I think people have been really down on this team. It's not the Deathwatch vets. You don't have you don't have a 10-man with 4 damage 3 Thunderhammers and 4 invulnerable shields that can ride up on a Rhino. You don't have that. And yeah, that's a shame. But you do have something pretty good here. And the Deathwatch vets are they're probably not going to be around much longer. And this is what you're going to have to work with. So you should probably figure out how to use them. And for me, I think my plan is 1 10-man with Watch Captain Artemis, and then maybe a couple 5-mans running around. So, or even have 2 10-mans. One can watch Captain Artemis, maybe another one with Lieutenant to give them lethal hits, and then you use site-to-site teleportation, drop them in. Oop. That's my sign to go. So, but anyway, thank you very much for listening. If anyone actually ever sees this, and have